Good evening, everyone. In this conference, I will be sharing the findings of my research on evaluating the efficiency of community-based waste management or CBWM in Dada Prajo Village, Indonesia. As introduction, waste management in Indonesia face significant challenges, including insufficient waste collection services and recycling market access, weak governance in inconsistent policies and fragmented rules, and many local governments lack sufficient budgets for infrastructure and operation, so communities is necessary to help. The image illustrates the typical waste management system called CBWM. CBWM is a local community system manage waste within their own neighborhoods. For TPS3R, waste from household is collected and then separated into different categories. The separation leads to two outcomes. Recyclable materials are processed, generating revenue. Non-recyclable waste is sent to landfill. Well, for another CBWM, we call it as waste bank. Waste from household is collected by themselves and brought to waste bank. Then the recovered resources is bought by recycling companies, generating revenue for waste bank and household. Many areas in Indonesia implemented CBWM such as Jakarta, Surabaya, and Malang, with various number as seen in this table. The benefits of CBWM are extending landfill lifespans and creating economic gains through recycling. The problem of CBWM are lack of financial support, insufficient government attention, limited land availability, and unstable prices for recovered resources. In addition, limited research exists on detailed aspects of CBWM, such as waste flow and resource recovery. To promote CBWM and increase recycling efficiency, mass flow analysis is essential to identify key stages for improvement. Because of that, the aims of this study are identify waste flow, calculate resource recovery ratio, and show financial condition. Now we move to material and methods. Study area is TPS3R, Dada Prajo Mandiri, or DMTPS, and Waste Bank, or WB1 and WB2 in Dada Prajo Village, Batu, Indonesia. A map of Indonesia highlights the location of Batu. The MTPS serves about 7,000 residents, 1,600 households, 4 schools, and 1 office in 2023. Household produce waste, which is delivered to the MTPS, where food processing occurs. Resource transporter manages the resource recovered at the MTPS. Remaining waste that cannot be recovered is sent to landfill. A small portion of waste household also recover their resources and give it to WB1 and WB2. In 2023, WB1 was consisted of 6 waste banks, which had 130 household participants, while 7 waste banks joined WB2 group that had participants of 185 households. Then the Waste Bank 1 delivered the recovered resources to the MTPS. On the other hand, the resource collectors handle the resources recovered by WB2. The waste composition survey was conducted during 5 different periods, October 2021 to March 2023. The average waste weight on sunny and rainy days is used to estimate the waste generation. The survey categorized 100 kg waste samples into various categories. Moreover, we estimate the total recovery rate, and total recovery rate with equation as seen on this slide, where I is the types of resources and J is categories of CBWM facilities. For financial condition, revenue data were collected from the MTPS officer and totals and averages were calculated. Then I will explain about result and discussion. The detailed waste flow in the MTPS is illustrated through this flow chart. At the MTPS, resources are manually recovered from waste, while the remaining waste is sent to landfill. Then recovered resources are sorted into detailed categories such as bottle, are being divided into 90 types based on the requirement of resource transporter, 6 ton waste per day, or 0.85 kg waste per day per person in average was generated from service area of the MTPS and waste bank. The average waste carried to the MTPS was 5.94 ton per day. On other hand, in average, WB1 recovered 0.04 ton resources per day, or 61.8 gram per person per day. Well, WB2 recovered 0.06 ton per day, or 69 gram per person per day. The MTPS recovered 0.59 ton per day, or 83.7 gram per person per day of resources and average independently. On average, 10.4% of waste was recovered, reducing landfill use. The bar graph compared the recovery rate of different resources such as plastic, cardboard and paper, metals, glasses, and food waste across the 3 different CBWM. The amount of recovered resources is the quantity of material extracted from waste for use, recycling, or repurposing. Here we can see that TMTPS play a dominant role in recovering plastic, as shown by a larger blue bar. The MTPS prioritize plastic bag to meet a target driven by a financial incentive and their high prevalence in waste. The MTPS recover smaller pulp, paper, and cardboard due to contamination compared to WB1 and WB2. The figures show the recovery rate in the MTPS, WB1 and WB2. The efficiency is still low, where the highest recovery rate was around 35%, remaining 65% diverted to landfill site. So CBWM need a new strategy to recover more resources. The pie chart illustrates contribution of recovered resources to revenue. It was found that plastic bag and cardboard or paper are the main sources of revenue from recovered resources. Revenue for the MTPS was split between 46.7% from selling recovered resources and 53.3% from resident fee. So CBWM needs to boost the sales of recovered materials. For the conclusion, organic waste make up 45.6% of the MTPS total waste, on average 10.4 of the total waste was recovered. The MTPS recovered around 80 grams per day per person of resources, mainly plastic, while WB1 and WB2 recovered about 60 grams per day per person each, focusing on cardboard and paper. Recommendations are improving household sorting, enhances resource recovery, and reduces contamination. Financial incentives such as EPR programs can further boost recovery by encouraging the separation of renewable materials. Thank you.